Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Last week I talked about gifts to buy yourself for the holidays. In this vlog, I'll be talking about the first year after surgery and my results and expectations. If you're curious, please continue to watch and join me on this journey. Last week I talked about gifts to buy yourself for the holidays. I decided to buy the knitting looms and have started making things. Since all the stuff I'm making are gifts, so you'll have to wait until after Christmas, after the holidays, okay? Sorry about that. This week I'll be talking about the first year after surgery and my results and expectations. Now the funny thing about this is that earlier today I was talking to a woman here in the park who had her surgery just about a month ago. She had the gastric sleeve just about a month ago, and she asked me, when is your surgery, and I said December 16th. Didn't even occur to me that that was yesterday, day before, I had no idea. I've been saying it for so long that it didn't grab me when the day came, Anyway, so I'm celebrating my surgery today, okay? Even though it was 2 days ago by the time you get to see this. So anyway, this week I'll be talking about the first year and my results and expectations. What I remember about this past year post-surgery. Most of it is good and some of it is not so good, it's bad. My weight loss stalls a lot. Doesn't matter how much I eat or how much I exercise, just like before I got the surgery, on any diet I've been on, it stalls. Did it on every diet, So my thought is just stay on the diet that I'm supposed to be on post-surgery, which is, since you're doing it. I know that the stalls pass after a while because your body can't keep saying, keep it up. Can't keep the fat up. Even though it tries, it's not, can't keep it up. So, but the thing is that stalling just really pisses me off. I really hate stalling. I go through mind games and trying to figure out where did I go wrong? What did I do? That kind of. The thing is that after the surgery, I did not expect stalling at all. I go through phases of not being hungry and other phases of wanting something, not knowing what it is that I want. Usually it's water. And the funny thing is that I make, where are my cups? I put them over there. I make tea. I make sure that I drink, water all day long, 50 ounces of it, because I make a cup of tea in the morning, first thing in the morning, and my cup is 28 ounces. It's a Contago, I think is the name of the cup. And I make water because I can't drink it cold. I've finally admitted that to myself, that I really can't drink it cold. So I try to flavor it a little bit, but I don't want to throw just, any old thing in there. So I throw some Gatorade in there to give it a little bit of flavor and get a tiny, tiny spike of electrolytes. And I use the zero Gatorade. So anyway, it's flavored. So that's 32 ounces of water and 28 ounces of tea that I'm guaranteed to drink during the day. And usually come around 2 o'clock or so, I'm looking for something else to drink. Other times it's not something to drink, it's protein. I want something, you know, I want some meat or I want protein of some kind. Beans, I don't care. Usually it's beans I go after, or I do the processed meats. Sometimes it's fresh veggies that I want. Something that, you know, you stand in front of the door of the refrigerator and try and figure out what it is. Sometimes it's fresh veggies or even fruit, you know. And you know when you got it right, because you get this real good satisfaction feeling, you know. I found one of the things that I didn't expect after the surgery was I wanted to do something. I want to move. I want to do something. I don't, you know. It's great for getting things to get done. I mean, you know, I get the laundry done, I vacuum the floors, you know, that kind of, I mean, how much can you do in a tiny home? Actually, come to think of it, the way the dust settles in this place, yeah, quite a bit. Things look new to me when I'm out walking, or sometimes even just here in the house and I happen to look at the plant differently or something. Things just seem to be brighter to me. Maybe it's because of my attitude changed with the loss of weight, you know. I think my attitude got better, much better. The thing is, too, that I was surprised about or didn't expect during this year was the dumping syndrome. Now, I know everybody gets dumping syndrome, but I figured I could be smart, you know. I threw up a lot. Even without dumping syndrome. I think it was 1 month, it was like the second or third month, something like that. I'd have to go back and look at my videos. I was throwing up all day long, every day. And it was crazy. And as a result, I ended up in the hospital with dehydration. They couldn't possibly drink enough to stay hydrated during that time. And my potassium levels were dangerously low because of that. At any rate, I didn't have dumping syndrome often. I mean, I had the throwing up, but I, for some reason, don't count that as dumping syndrome because it didn't go through me like dumping syndrome does, where you get diarrhea, you get the throwing up, you get diarrhea kind of stomach pains, and you don't know when it will happen, you know, which is kind of scary. Because sometimes it could happen hours after you've eaten something or drank something, and you don't know what it is because you've eaten at least 2, 3, 4 things between that time of whatever it was that set it off. And now, you know. So, and I knew people said, you know, that dumping syndrome is, everybody's going to get it, and that it's a good tool. And actually, it is a good tool. It really is. One of the other things I didn't expect, I mean, I did expect some changes, was that everything tastes different. Sweet, anything sweet is really, really sweet to me, which is kind of funny because here I was a sugar addict, you know. Salty is not so much. Salty doesn't put me off so much, but cheese is kind of tastes a little different. It hasn't changed much, but for some reason it's just not as good tasting as it tasted before. I think that salt my taste for salt has diminished, and I don't know, salt doesn't taste as good to me as it used to. Some of the stuff that I really like is almost disgusting now to me. And usually that's fresh meats. I mean, I'm down to chicken. I bought some chicken thighs, and I bought some pork loin, and I did barbecued. I cooked it in the Instant Pot and crisped it up and whatnot in the air fryer. Came out fabulous. But now I've got a freezer full of this stuff, because although it tasted good, and it was fall off the bone stuff, and that kind of good stuff, it just didn't turn me on. Now, processed meat and sausages, salami, bologna, bacon, all of those taste really good to me. I mean, just amazingly good. And I don't know why, because the salt content, maybe it's because the salt content is really high, but salt content is high in cheese and stuff too, I went through a month-long bacon jag for a while there, and now I don't want it, can't be bothered. Stopped tasting good, so I stopped eating it. Mac and cheese isn't quite right yet either, and I've made mac and cheese, especially during the summer with the solar cooking. I made mac and cheese like every 2 weeks or something like that, and I have yet to come up with a recipe that I like anymore. In fact, the cheese itself, I mean, if you cut off a piece of cheese you want to munch or something like that, and it just doesn't taste as good. I don't know. I want you to know, though, that Doritos have not changed, okay? And potato chips got better. And another thing, I expected to feel better after the surgery. And I kind of expected to feel kind of good, but not this good. I mean, I feel really good. I mean, this is amazing. I guess it's because the diabetes isn't beating me up, or any of the other comorbidities that I had for this surgery, which I don't seem to have anymore, which is a wonderful thing. I feel I look good too. I'm less concerned about clothing because I guess everything fits, more or less. I mean, most stuff is too big that I've got anyway. I need to go through and just toss or take it over to Goodwill or something. I think I'm more conscious of the weather, the temperature, than I am of what I look like. In fact, I don't really care, especially when I go out and walking Raleigh. I mean, I don't go out in a sari, although I could. And another thing I can't say I didn't expect, but I'm in physically good standing with the doctors. I figured there'd be some things that didn't get resolved, and, I'd be constantly working with them, but it's like ridiculously fast that the diabetes went away. The blood pressure went to normal. Everything is normal. All of my blood tests and everything is normal, which is amazing. And I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. And I think that's terrific. And another thing, one of the last things about the surgery that I didn't expect was that I had other addictions. I mean, I suppose I knew I had other addictions, but I never considered them all part of and parcel of the same thing. I can't imagine why, since I'm only one person, you know what I mean? Most of my addictions are being dealt with, like, for instance, shopping. I do much more control over shopping. Candy. I haven't had any candy at all, not one piece, since December 16, 2019. Before that, because I was on a diet, liquid diet the week before that, and Lord knows when it was before that I had candy. I've noticed too that mostly my eating disorders are gone. Maybe not gone. Maybe they're in hiding, but I don't seem to be eating binge eating, and I'm not eating for stress and boredom. Well, boredom. Anyway, they're mostly gone. I can't say they're all gone, you know. I don't know that anyone is free of an addiction. You know, it has a tendency to manifest in some other way, you know. I did expect to lose a lot of weight. I wanted to lose 100 pounds this first year. I expected to lose 100 pounds the first year. I've lost 65. I don't know. I can't say that that's disappointing. It is and it isn't. You know, it is because it's not 100 pounds, but it's a wonderful thing because it's 65 pounds, you know. I wanted to get rid of pre-diabetes, and the operation did that for me. I wanted to get rid of my sugar addictions, and I hoped that the operation would do that for me, and it did. Just sweets are just too sweet now. I think, though, I might be turning into a fruit addiction, which is a substitute for the sugar in candy. Although fruit is better for you, if you eat 3 pounds of it, it's not. You know, it's the way it goes. So I have to watch myself, you know, because I could go through 3 pounds of grapes in a quick hurry. I didn't expect to be so conscious of all the different kinds of choices that I made during the day. I think I just said yeah to things or did stuff and, you know, figured it would take care of itself or do whatever it's going to do. And it's probably better something, it's a good something to strive for, to stay conscious, you know, to be conscious of the choices that we're making and strive to stay conscious. That's what I'm trying to say. I think, though, it's been overall a great year, even though there is COVID. There is a pandemic. There is a lot of stuff going on. The homelessness, there is all kinds of stuff. But overall, I think it's been a pretty good year. I can't say it's the best year I've ever had or the worst, actually. So anyway, I mean, after all, there's Rowley. This is the Rowley Report. Rowley seems to be happier. He does. He seems to be, he's playing a lot. He wants to play a lot. I used to complain about that. When I first got him, I used to complain about how he just wants to chase that ball all day long, you know. As soon as I get up in the morning, he wanted me to chase that, play with him with that ball. Well, he's not quite that bad now. But we can go for a 1.5 mile walk and come back in, and he wants to immediately start playing with the ball, wants me to throw the ball so he can run up and down the stairs and through the house and carry on. And he'll run 10, 15, 20 times that I throw that ball. And he runs like a maniac to go get it, you know. It's amazing. I don't know where he gets that kind of energy. I don't have it. It's getting there, but I don't have it. He seems to want to communicate with me more. I think that I'm glad that I gave up those talking buttons things. I think that the buttons got in my way of learning what he's trying to say, instead of trying to foist on him my language, you know, when he already spoke a language, didn't want to learn a second one, third, fourth. So, for instance, if he wants to see the next door neighbor, woman who gave him to me now lives next door, or I moved next door to her, actually. He brings me his stuffed pig and stands by the door. She gave him the pig as a going-away present when he came to live with me. If he wants to tell me he's thankful or welcome home or something like that, he brings me his blue monkey. I gave him the blue monkey when he first came here. So those two stuffed toys, he never chews them up. He doesn't tear them up or anything like he does all of the other ones. Every other toy he tries to bite, chew, whatever. Those two he doesn't. He also has a whale, and he carries that around sometimes. I don't know where he got that one. Anyway, he tries to say outside when he wants to go out. He opens his mouth really wide and makes a sign that kind of sounds like out. Now ask me, wouldn't it have been easier to press that button? Maybe not. Okay. Walks are getting noisier. He's barking a lot lately. And, you know, it's a regression. I suppose we all go through it. Otherwise, these walks are pretty enjoyable. Pretty much. And, you know, I'm grateful that he's here. I enjoy it when he comes and he leans on me and he wants to be petted. He's a good dog. He's a good dog. So anyway, to the race reports. Let me see. On the Pan American Highway, that's the one, you know, goes from one end of America to the other end of America. I've done 145.7 miles since the beginning of October. And I'm still in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, where the race started. This place is enormous. Huge. I'm still, you know, I haven't gotten to the second marker yet. 146 miles almost. On the Mount Fuji race, which is 46 miles, I've got 7 miles to go. And I should finish that before my goal date of December 21st. Yule. Okay. And the Holiday Streaker Challenge, which is for the dog tag, is a month-long challenge of a mile or more. You have to do the mile or more every day for the month, for the entire month. So far I've done 2 walks every day this month. And they've all totaled to more than 1 mile. So, to sum up, I'm looking at my notes. To sum up, I got to do notes. Otherwise, you know, I'd be rambling for about 4 or 5 hours, you know, and actually say nothing. So, to sum up, I'm feeling good about the surgery. I know I was concerned. I was a tiny bit worried. And as a result, I made out my will and all that kind of stuff. You know, I did all my legal stuff. And even though I've lost only half of the weight I wanted to lose, that's a quoted only, I'd make that choice again for the surgery. I'd do it again for sure. So, you people stay safe, okay? Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. Because one day, this channel might amount to something. And you got to work with the YouTube algorithms. Of course, you heard all of that before anyway. Don't forget to click show more and see the stuff in the description below. Thank you for watching and listening, and thanks for subscribing, okay? And take care of you and yours. Stay safe, okay? Blessed be.